So you're the Mark Zuckerberg of Disney social networking.
Let's put that genie back in the bottle.
Paints with the colors of the wind, bitch.
It's time for 2 Finger Point.
Power daddy.
Our shoes are in the pond.
Extra magic hours, which we in turn called extra tragic hours.
People called him the naked mole rat.
Did you really just 2 Finger Point?
Here are your hosts, Amber and Kylie.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning back into 2 Finger Point. I'm Kylie.
I'm Amber.
And today we are joined with a very special guest. He is our CEO of a website all around Disney called Meet Upon Maine. We're joined here by Robby. So welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So he's going to run through today's episode with us and we'll get to know him and more about Meet Upon Maine. So Amber, let's kick into news. What do you have for us?
All right, so let's start over in Florida. So what we got over there is upcoming for the fall. They're going to have some extended hours for Disney's Hollywood Studios park. And it's going to be for select nights from September 30th, October 5th, October 11th, the 19th, and the 25th. And they don't offer this very often for Hollywood Studios. The last time they offered it was December 2022. So it allows for additional 2 hours of park time after the park time closes. And it's not just for any ticketed member. It's actually just for specific members of people who are participating in deluxe Walt Disney Resort hotels. So they have a list of the hotels that are allowed to stay for extended hours.
Oh, bless those souls of those who have to work those nights.
Oh, you were Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. I think I only had to do a couple of nights like that. Definitely didn't envy the ones who had to work at Magic Kingdom, though.
Right here. We got those way more often. And from a guest point of view, though, I could say, I mean, that's great. It's very exciting, but not from a worker's point of view.
I never would have thought about it that way. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know it's too much fun when you're a guest, but as a cast member, we're like, oh, please make it stop. So throwing it all the way to the other side to Disneyland. So they are currently in process of converting Pacific Wharf into San Fransokyo from Big Hero 6. Phases of that kind of already started at the beginning of July, and it's supposed to go all the way through the end of August. So August 31st is their set date to open officially for San Fransokyo. Things are still remaining open throughout the transition, all the restaurants, everything kind of there. What started to most recently happen is they're converting the Pacific Wharf Bridge. They're converting it into the San Fransokyo Bridge. So it's going to have Golden Gate Bridge vibes mixed with like a Tokyo kind of flair.
That's so cool. And I think that should be done for California Adventure because I guess California is kind of divided in the north and the south, but San Francisco is a huge part of California. So I think that's going to be a great addition.
Yeah, I fully agree. It should be very exciting. It's opening this August?
This August 31st.
That's pretty quick.
That's what I thought. It's a quick conversion, only like 2 months.
Yeah.
So
those Imagineers work quick.
They do. I mean, they've even got a whole story about explaining kind of how the conversion works too. They explained why the San Fransokyos would be near a canning fishing community. So kind of why the conversion of Pacific Wharf kind of goes into San Fransokyo and why it makes sense.
Yeah.
And they said the tech industry begins to emerge and the local fishing trade fell on hard times. Entrepreneurs came together to reinvent the seaside canneries into vibrant multicultural district of neighborhood restaurants and small businesses where you'd be able to eat and shop. So it's cool. It's nice that they gave kind of an explanation of why they're transitioning this area.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, us too. Where I'm a big Hero 6 fan, so.
Oh, very cool. I unfortunately have not seen the movie yet, but it's definitely up on that list because now that we're having this new land, I feel like I have to know what the inside scoop is, what's going on.
All right. Well, moving into our next segment, it's all about Meet Upon Maine. So we're just going to ask Robby some questions here. So you are joined by Caitlin as your co-founder, right? So how do you guys know each other?
We've been friends for quite a few years. And one day I called her. Well, I had the idea December of 2020, and I started working on it and everything. And was looking for web developers and everything that I knew, trying to see who could bring stuff to the table, you know. So December, I was working on it, and I think the same time in December, I gave her a call and I was like, "Hey, I'm working on a new project," and so I told her about it, and she was like, "Wow, I really want to be involved in this." So I was like, "Okay." So she came on board, and it was pretty easy, you know, good relationship and everything. I'm trying to think. She used to babysit our daughter when she was a baby, and we just, you know, my wife, her husband, we all became very good, like best friends and everything, and constantly hang out. And so yeah, I just, you know, any new ideas I come up with and stuff, I usually bring them to them and talk to them about them, and they liked this one a lot. And so yeah, they wanted to, or she wanted to come on board and everything.
Wow, that worked out very serendipitously.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind describing to our listeners, what is Meet Upon Main? How would you explain it to a client?
Yeah, so Meet Upon Main is a dating/social networking website where people that are looking for friendships or serious relationships, they can go on, sign up, build a profile for free, and then just start searching for users. We have people from all over the country, from East Coast, West Coast, North, South, everywhere, that are joining, and people that are married, they're joining because they want to find other married couples to go on vacations with, because they have that big interest in Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel. And you know, it's nice to have somebody, or even a group of people, to have that major passion with, and so that everybody goes on there with that intention of finding that either special somebody or next great travel buddy, you know, to go with. So
That is
it's,
so neat because I saw that, you know, it also said Park Buddy, but you kind of think of these things as just dating, but it's also a great way to meet people who are just as passionate as you are. Like my husband's not really a Disney fan, so if I wanted to go and he didn't, like I could just find a new friend.
right. And that's sort of what we wanted. We originally were like, well, let's do a dating site, but I'm like, well, what about the people that are already in a relationship that, you know, their spouses aren't that big of a Disney fan? And, you know, you could have another couple come on that maybe that other spouse isn't a big Disney fan. And so then they could find something in common, or both of them are fanatics, you know, for the whole franchise, and they just all want to go together because, you know, you notice there's a lot of groups out there. So
Mhm.
we wanted to do something like that. We wanted to build another community where you can find each other really easily, and yeah, just travel and make great memories together, and eventually build families and have those kids create, you know, those great connections and build memories with their friends and stuff like that as well. So
Yeah. So you said you came up with this idea at the end of 2020. So what was that process like? Where did you come up with the idea and decide I actually want to make this happen?
yeah, so one of my friends, she was looking to join a dating site, and she's a big Disney fan, and she's like, I wish something was out there for us. So I started to do some research and see that there wasn't that many sites that are like that cater to this niche of a market. So I was like, oh, I can start one, and so I ran it past a few other Disney fans that I have as friends and Star Wars fans. And they all were like, wow, this is a great idea. And so I just started contacting a few developers that I know, and we just started building it. And I have a degree in graphic design, so we started working with that. And one thing led to another, and just started building the site. I have a law firm that I'm working with to make sure that I stay out of the Disney stuff, lawyer spotlight, and make sure that everything is good on that end, and don't step on their toes or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that.
Yeah, lawyers are always important, but I'm sure Disney appreciates it because you're kind of driving more money to them in a way.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, very true.
Are there any success stories from the site that you know of so far?
So not yet. We have one that reached out to us actually, that said that he's in contact with a very special woman, and they're making great connection and everything like that. So we're in communications with him. We're working on the more retention back end of the site right now to make it, we want to get the surveys out there to see how everybody's enjoying it, especially since we just went live October of last year, the end of October. So, for us to get the stuff out now, we need to get it going, and see if there's any feedback yet. I'm sure there's feedback, but any stories, of connections and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Wow, so you're almost at your 1 year. Do you guys have any plans on how you're going to ring that first year in?
No, not really thinking about it as like a 1 year anniversary, more of just, full steam ahead. We have algorithms that are being worked on this summer. So we're always developing. We have some new software updates that should be launching this week. That was one of our mindsets, is to make sure that the site is never complete. We're always updating, and it's a lot of fun. But no, I haven't really thought of any like 1 year anniversary kind of thing. We do have like a big summer sale right now that we're doing, so we cut a lot of the prices down. So I think the first month and 3-month memberships are 50% off. So it was a dramatic price cut, but it was great. We fully think that it went in the right direction and everything.
Summer's the hot time for the amusement parks, so it's a great time to get on there.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking too, I was like, this is great that there's the ability to have a park buddy connection. Just being in Orange County personally, I think this is great because I could be on there and one day just say, hey, I want to go to the park. Let me go see if someone, wants to go with me this week or next week. Like, I think that's great that you can just pick a new buddy and have a new friend, maybe,
Yeah.
Or even you and Eric can go on there as a couple and see if you can find another couple to go with.
There are a lot of
yes.
married couples and people that are already just in a relationship in general. There's a lot of them out on the website already. So
yeah, this would be great, I think, because my boyfriend as well is a fanatic. So I think this could be a really fun experience for us to have some new friends to go park hopping with.
Oh, cool. So we'll move into our rapid fire. So we just have a few questions. You can just give us as basic of a answer as you want.
okay.
So first one, favorite Disney attraction.
Oh, that's tough. Pirates and Haunted Mansion. Splitting
Yeah.
Claws.
Those are my top two as well.
Yeah. I actually I was raised out in California, Southern California. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, going to the original park and doing those rides. It's very interesting to see the difference in how they are and what they're laid out and everything. Indiana Jones for Disneyland for sure.
Mhm.
And then yeah, Haunted Mansion and Pirates for sure on the East Coast.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
favorite Disney food.
Their cookies are really good. The cookies, I like Casey's Corner. Their hot dogs.
So that's
Oh
where
my
Amber
gosh.
actually worked.
I
Okay.
did. They are very good. Their corn dog nuggets, top notch.
See, I haven't had those yet. I just every time I see their chili cheese dog, I'm like,
Love.
yeah, that's my lunch. Like we'll go to Tomorrowland and we'll eat over there, but I'll walk to Casey's Corner to grab my hot dog and go all the way back over there.
I don't blame you. There's something about those Casey Corner dogs. I'm telling you, they're good because we don't have a Casey's Corner here at the Disneyland.
Right.
And I miss it sometimes. I'm like, where I need that. I crave it.
Yeah.
Favorite Disney park.
Mm. That's so tough. Hollywood Studios, I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I really enjoy Galaxy's Edge. I'm so upset that they're closing down the hotel because I've never gotten the chance to go and stay there. So yeah, Galaxy's Edge, I feel like if that wasn't opened, because it's so new and fresh and everything. But so runner up would be Magic Kingdom,
Okay.
you know. Yeah.
Okay, favorite Disney movie.
So as a child, my favorite was Mary Poppins.
Okay.
I watched that every day, just over and over again, like nonstop. Dick Van Dyke was he's still a great actor. Love his role in it and everything like that. And when they're laughing on the ceiling, that was just absolute. That gets me every time. So Mary Poppins as a child. Now I like Tomorrowland. Looney. Not that many people like it, but it like gives me a lot of inspiration to be innovative and creative with any business that I start and stuff like that. So Tomorrowland is my new favorite.
That's a good point too. And Disney has a great way of combining entertainment with education, and you don't even realize it.
No.
All right. Favorite Disney character.
Donald Duck.
Oh, I like that
That's a good
answer.
Yeah.
Favorite Disney villain.
I want to say is it Facilier? Is that how you say his name?
Oh, from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah. I really liked his character, his role, everything in that movie. So
Nice.
Right.
yeah.
And your favorite Disney park show or parade?
All right. Happily Ever After. For the fireworks show. Growing up in the 90s, it was the electrical parade.
Oh yes, classic.
Yeah, that we saw in Disneyland. So that was always, and yeah, whenever I'm about to work on the website, which is pretty much every day, I'll put on the song for Happily Ever After to really get the juices flowing and the inspiration and everything.
Yeah, it's very on brand for what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for answering our questions.
Yeah.
We'll move into my personal favorite part of the episode, our 2 finger points. So we're just kind of giving our unpopular opinions, whatever we're feeling controversial about this week. So Amber, what is your 2 finger point?
Okay, so mine, I'm not gonna lie, it's not original. So her cousin actually had this point, and I'm stealing it. Sorry, Anthony. Shout out to Anthony. It's that we don't have enough characters in the park nowadays. I feel like we've got little spots for meet and greets, but those are kind of hour-long waits, and you're not guaranteed the character by the time you get to the front. They switch out characters, every hour or so because they can't be out there that long. So I just kind of wish we had more characters around that we could meet with, or just that could interact with us while we're there. I miss that. I know we had that more like in the 90s, early 2000s, and it's kind of just gone away in the more recent years.
Yeah, I feel like there was like an element of magic when you would just be walking through Fantasyland and happen to see Snow White by the well. Whereas now it's okay, let's see what time she's going to be available for photos.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the times recently I was there, I did like Gaston was actually walking around in Fantasyland, and I got really excited about that because in Fantasyland I really feel like they don't have as many characters around. So to see him, I was really excited, and he was very good.
I can agree with you with that. I think for the mascots, there's so much technology in the theme parks that they do that they should put some kind of like a fan or something so that the people inside the suits are not, roasting in there,
Yes.
to keep them cool and everything. And then for the characters that aren't mascots, yeah, they should totally be walking around more and everything. Now that, I mean, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or, but, I feel like they could bring them back, and it does make it more memorable. The rides make it memorable and everything like that, and the food, but that I feel like that's more for the grown-ups that'll make it more memorable. The kids, when they're able to see a princess and not have to wait in line and then go and get their photo taken, it seems like, I don't know. When it's more spontaneous, it's more special, more meaningful.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
I fully agree.
Yeah, one of my earliest Disney memories was it was right when Mulan came out and they had a parade. I was too little to remember the name of it, but she was in there and on her float waving, and she's waving to everybody. No one's waving back except me and my mom. And she caught eyes with me and saw we were waving, and her eyes got big and she just got excited when she waved. And then I went to meet her later, and it seemed like she remembered me from the parade. And here I am at 31, like remembering that. So you're dead on with that. The kids are going to remember those experiences more.
I feel like one thing that they could do is, I remember this at Universal Studios. There was E.T. the ride.
Mhm.
So they would always they would type in what's your name. They would type in your name, and then at the end of the ride, ET would say goodbye to you and say your name. And I feel like if there was a way that instead of asking, oh, what's your name? There was some sort of way that they could, when you walk into the park, it identifies you. But then there's so much security and all that. And I don't know. It would be cool, to have the characters be like, oh, hi, how are you? And actually say your name before you actually introduce yourself. Because then they're like, oh my gosh, how did you, and it sort of will take the kids by surprise and make it a bit more memorable and stuff like that. Or bringing them, I know the parades are, there's a lot of electronics and vehicles going around, but if they included the kids in the parades and stuff like that, that would be fun.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Even just like pull them out for a second and dance with them and then let them go back with their parents. Oh my gosh, look at your ideas.
Right? That was a good one. But magic bands nowadays, with all the magic bands, if they come into like a character meet and greet, they should be able to scan it, and then it should resonate somehow. And then that way, when they're like, oh, hi, Robbie, when they come in, that it should, I wonder if they could do something like that.
Yeah.
Another idea.
No, but that would be a great way to do it,
Mhm.
is when you're waiting. I know Mickey's right at the beginning of the park. So you walk in where is it the Hall of Presidents over there or something?
Yeah. Well,
It's
so yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's like right there. So you scan your magic band and your name's already attached to your magic band.
Exactly.
So and if you stay in line in that order and everything like that, they'll be like, oh, okay, Amber's up next, and
Mhm.
it would
Exactly.
make it more special.
Yeah, and kids love that, especially like to know that like Mickey knew who you were. I mean, that would stick with you for life.
Right. For sure.
Hey, Amber,
Hey, Kylie.
have you been on our website lately?
You mean our really awesome website that will show you where you can stream the podcast?
That one. Not only can you stream from the site and see all the platforms we stream on, but you can also take fun Disney themed quizzes and even grab our itineraries and scavenger hunts for the parks.
What? We have all that?
Duh, we gotta give the people what they want.
Go visit our website, twofingerpointpodcast.com. That's the number 2 spelled out, TWO, twofingerpointpodcast.com for all the good stuff. Attention all DCPs, cast members, and all other Disney fanatics. Do you have an interesting story related to Disney?
Maybe you'd love to share what it was like working for the mouse, or why Disney holds a special place in your heart.
Or maybe you want to give us the dirty details about your roommate and how awful they are.
I mean, yeah.
Write into us. We'd love for you to share your story on the pod.
Or even have you share your story on the pod.
That too.
Don't worry, if you want to stay anonymous, you can. Christopher Marlando.
Reach out to us at twofingerpointpodcast.com/contact or DM us wherever you're connected.
Yeah, that would definitely make it more immersive.
Totally. So Kylie, what's your 2-finger point of the week?
My 2-finger point of the week, I think we should celebrate more of the movies from like the 70s and the 80s, like Fox and Hound, Aristocats, Oliver and Company, Robin Hood, The Rescuers. I feel like those kind of just get swept under the rug, and they're actually really good movies.
I agree. They don't get spoken about enough, rewatched, or kind of, you don't even hear about them much in the parks. Like I will say, as far as Oliver and Company, I saw a pin for them, but just one. And that was it. But I thought that was really cool that they did bring that in with all the other modern characters that we have. So it was nice to see that they were holding on to a little bit of that throwback nostalgia.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I know they did, was it at Hollywood Studios? They did a throwback party.
Okay.
Yeah, they had from the Goofy movie, they finally brought in Max and Goofy, and they do the dance at the end with Powerline, and
Oh.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
so it's pretty cool. They one of the YouTubers that I follow, Lake Buena Visitors, they went to the event, and there's a bunch of YouTubers that did go. But it was pretty cool. They brought those guys, and they had Max. I think they had Max dressed up as Powerline, or Goofy. One of the two was dressed up as Powerline and everything. And so I do agree. I think they should bring back, they should advertise it more, especially on Disney Plus. They should, even though kids are watching what's up and coming and everything like that, they should have a category for throwback and promote it more, and then bring, because they still have all the mascot costumes in storage and everything. So why not bring it out? And it brings, because there's so many adults that still go to the parks, and they would be like, oh my gosh, they brought back the Rescuers, and they brought back Merlin from Sword in the Stone, and that it would just, I think it would make it more memorable and everything as well. So I
Right.
agree.
100%.
Because growing up, we had it all. And like, I remember on the Disney Channel late at night, they'd play Walt Disney, where you'd watch the old school stuff, and you got everything. So I think kids these days, and they have even more to embrace too.
Yeah.
So, Robbie, do you have any unpopular opinions or things that you find yourself debating with fellow Disney fans a lot?
I'm trying to think of any unpopular.
Or Star Wars or Marvel, anything under the Disney umbrella.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing for food wise, I think there's too many pork options. Um, I don't eat pork. It's
Mhm.
not, there's no real nutrition to it. I know it's a cheap meat to have in a theme park, so they have a lot of it, but it's just not, there's a lot of people that, especially this day and age, everybody is very healthy,
Mhm.
very health conscientious and everything. And um there just needs to be either more beef products or just different. Yeah, and they do have some like vegan and vegetarian, and I'm not vegan or vegetarian. um but like I think they need to offer more, all the pork products that they have. So that's one thing that I think that they should work on. um Prices. They,
I think those are popular opinions.
yeah, it's a very, like, I live out in Ohio, and we have a theme park out here. It's called Cedar Point,
Oh,
and
yes.
it's they actually lowered their prices this year. Which, well, I don't even remember what the prices are, but I know they lowered them by a couple bucks. And you know, the parks are very packed all the time. So even before the prices were lowered, it doesn't, I don't think they need to price gouge. I'm actually going out the beginning of October to Disney World, and I'm going for a business meeting and everything like that. And we were looking at rates, and Swan and Dolphin is close to $1,000 a night.
Oof. Oof.
And I'm like, this is insane. We're not like in Hawaii. We're not in South Miami. We're not like,
Hawaii's not even that expensive.
yeah. I mean, if you're staying at the real top hotels, but like $1,000 a night, like that's a lot,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, even like 700s a night, 700 a night, that's a lot. And I know you really get a lot from it, but when you get to the hotel and you're like, is it really worth $700 a night? Especially if you're not, it would be one thing if you're staying at the hotel the majority of the time, but
Yeah.
you got the theme parks, you're out, close to 10 hours a day at the theme parks. The majority of the people are,
Mhm.
they're out for a long time. So they really, I mean, they're making so much money. I really think that they could, and I thought they price cut for the summer,
Mhm.
but it's so hot in Florida.
Yeah.
You get off the plane and you're like, okay, welcome to hell. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
it's so hot. Why would you want to go out? And people suffer from, heat stroke and dehydration. And yeah, you're price gouging, but you're cutting the prices so that people come out. It's like, no, cut the prices. You're still going to make a ton of money in the cooler months. I don't know. And since Bob Iger's back and everything like that, I think
Mhm.
they could really cut those prices down a bit.
You hear that, Bob?
No, I agree. I feel like the parks kind of cater to like the local residents, and as far as like price, chopping, they give the locals like a summer deal. I know Florida's doing one. California has a normal SoCal deal that they run. Um, they could do it for everything, I think, across the board instead of just the locals, because I feel like most locals, honestly, in my opinion, having either like an annual pass or a magic key depending on where you are. So these local prices aren't really doing much for those locals, in my opinion.
um Universal, I was out there 2015. I was out there in December of 2020 or 2015, and they had a deal that if you purchased a ticket in December, you got an annual pass for the next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was Universal. So we went and they gave us our annual pass for the next year. But I live in Ohio. I go out to California once a year, but that's up to Monterey in August.
Mhm.
So, I never went for that whole rest of the year. But it was that's a huge promotion,
Yeah.
So even if they did something for a half or a quarter of the year, maybe that would be, that they'd still get a packed house there, at Disney.
Yeah,
Easily.
definitely.
So both of you worked at Disneyland or?
Disney World. So we
Mhm.
interned at Disney World in the college program. That's actually how we met because we shared a bedroom. And we came out on the positive end. It could have gone really bad or really good. And we're best friends to this day.
Nice. Very nice. That's very cool. Yeah, we're trying to figure out a way to, because we want to attract the college kids that are part of the program
Mhm.
to Meet Upon Maine. And we're trying to figure out a way to market to them. Right now our monthly fee is $9.49.
Mhm.
So, it's pretty affordable. But I know as a college student, that's a meal. That could be
Yeah.
2 meals. So, yeah. We definitely want to work with, the college program and everything like that as well. So how you obviously you enjoyed the experience and everything.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
Yeah. Like you said, we were broke pretty much the whole time, which brings on stressors. But at the same time, I can say it was one of the best experiences of my life. I got to meet some lifelong friends all over the planet as far as New Zealand. So it
Yeah.
was definitely worth it. I wouldn't go back and change a thing.
I agree. It was an experience that it for me personally kind of fell into my lap, and so it was something that I never kind of expected. It was very serendipitous to me, and yeah, I wouldn't change it. I would definitely keep it the way it was. It was and is still, I still talk to some people, like I said, that are still in the program and still some of my good friends. It was so interesting. I probably wouldn't have met some of these people I was down in Mississippi, so I don't know that I could have met some of these people. So it was nice to kind of get put into a melting pot and just kind of see people from different areas.
That's really cool. Now, were you just cast members during the college program, or after you went back as actual career, or not careers, but jobs, or?
No, we both left. We actually left early.
Oh.
But as time, that was almost 10 years ago, so we still love Disney just from a consumer point.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still love you guys then. That
Yeah.
actually gave me an idea for the website. I think we can I'm going to bring it up to Caitlin, where almost like a reunion or a class,
Oh yeah.
and do
Mhm.
classes of each year. So the different student programs, class of 2012 and class of 2013, and just do that where, you can put that in your profile, and then that'll give you guys something in common with another person.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
you guys would fit in a group kind of thing of, this is, the group that you're in, and you guys can make other friends through that group as an extension.
Love that.
No, I think this is interesting because I honestly, from my opinion too, I would love to kind of get together with some DCPs from our year and just kind of see their experience and see how their program went kind of versus ours and just kind of get together with it.
Right. And then see where their life has gone since then. And
Mm-hmm.
I find it very interesting. One of the years that I went down in Disney World, there's a sit down restaurant across the street from Casey Corner. It's right past Starbucks and it's white. I want to say the furniture is like a white metal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name of it, but our server was like a high powered attorney from New York that she quit and now she's a server at the restaurant there and she loves it, absolutely loves it. Yeah, it's very interesting to see the different, people and how they've switched their life path to like, from making it like all the stress and everything, and now they're living their best life and everything down there.
You hear that a lot about lawyers. Like you would think, oh, they're making great money. But I've heard a handful of stories about lawyers hating what they did and just dropping it all and starting from rock bottom and doing what makes them happy.
Yeah, there's a lawyer out here that was a lawyer in downtown Cleveland, and she built, American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
So she bought a warehouse and she made like an indoor American Ninja Warrior place.
Oh, how fun.
Oh, cool.
And that's what she does now. So
Oh,
yeah.
how fun is that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up with a fun game. Originally, Caitlin, shout out to you. We're sorry we missed you. We were going to have you guys versus each other, but Robby, we're going to have you against Amber in this.
Okay.
So it's
I'm excited.
Who said the Disney quote? And we're going to stick with the theme of love. So these are all quotes around love.
Okay.
So we're going to do it on a point basis. So if you get it without a hint, you get 2 points. And then if you need a hint, I'll tell you what movie the quote is from, and we'll deduct 1 point. All right. So we'll go ahead and start. And Robby, since you're our guest, I'll give you the first one.
Okay.
All right. So the quote is, because when I look at you, I can feel it. And I look at you and I'm home.
Oh, that's Dory.
It is Dory. All right. So 2 for you. All right.
Caitlin would have lost. Immediately, right now, Caitlin probably would have lost.
Oh, then I might lose.
All right. Amber, so yours is, people do crazy things when they're in love.
God, come on. I know this quote. Do crazy things when they're in love. Okay, give me a hint. What's the movie?
Hercules.
Oh. Is that oh God. I switched the 2 names of this. That's not Megara, is it?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we have Robby in the lead with 2 and Amber with 1 point. All right, Robby. So your next one is, my dream wouldn't be complete without you in it.
Oh. I'm gonna need a hint. Wow.
Okay. So the movie is Princess and the Frog.
Oh wow. Seriously? Why did my dream? Is that her father?
No, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. It was actually Tiana says it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking her father said it to her as a child.
No, she said it to Prince Nagin.
Okay.
All right. So Amber, your next quote is, love is putting someone else's needs before yours.
Oh. Love is putting someone else's. What's the movie?
Frozen.
That's what I thought. Okay. I thought it was Frozen. I'm gonna guess, but I don't think I'm right. Is it Olaf?
It is Olaf.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the score is tied 2-2. All right, Robbie. So yours is I'd rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you.
You see, I totally jinxed myself with that Caitlin comment. Huh. Say it again.
So it's I'd rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you.
Why am I drawing a blank?
She gets us good. I'm telling you, these games, like I feel I go so confident coming in, and then she hits me with it, and I'm like, I know nothing.
Right? Oh, I can't think of anything. What's the hint?
Pocahontas is the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never liked that movie. That's
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites.
oh no, I'm sorry. I was never, but I'm guessing it's Pocahontas.
That is incorrect. It was John Smith.
Oh, and I'm wrong anyway.
Okay, Amber, let's see if you can steal the lead. If not, I have a tiebreaker.
A tiebreaker. Okay.
Okay, so love is a song that never ends.
That never ends.
Like,
Do you know this one?
no.
Okay. Okay, yeah, what's the hint? What's the movie?
It's from Bambi.
Oh, bam. Oh God.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I haven't either. It's so sad. I try to avoid that one.
It is a sad one.
What was the quote again?
Love is a song that never ends.
God, I'm trying to think of the characters who could even have said that. I'm just gonna say Bam because I can't think of anybody else, and I know that's wrong.
It's actually correct.
Oh wow!
So you get 1 point. So Amber wins 3-2.
Wow.
That was crazy.
I was gonna say flower.
I was kind of like thinking, oh, maybe she'll think it was Flower because he's more
Yeah.
of like the romantic one.
Well, we're actually for the website, we're actually creating trivia games.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and we have everything from Disney princesses to the Disneyland snacks, the drinks, the villains, the theme parks, the resorts, Star Wars, Clone Wars, the movies, the TV shows, just everything. And when there's going to be a grading system, and we're actually creating virtual pins.
Oh,
fun.
Yeah, and there's going to be a pin board that's going to be added to everybody's profile. So you're going to get achievements, you're going to get pins, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. We're excited about it.
That's so fun. I might join and put a disclaimer. I can't go to the parks right now, but I just want to be in on the fun.
Right?
You should join in general, just
Yeah.
for fun. There's so many people. We literally have thousands of people on the site already, and they're all active. They're all talking amongst each other. And yeah, it's a great time.
So you're
Yeah.
the Mark Zuckerberg of Disney social networking.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Did you want to let everyone know where they can find you in Meet Upon Maine?
So meetuponmain.com. And it's spelled just MEETUPONMAIN. And then that's our Instagram as well. And we do giveaways on Instagram. We actually, this one is ours. But we have a lot of these guys. Well, not him, but the other munchlings. We just gave away a Mickey and Minnie to one person a few months ago. And then yeah, we're constantly doing giveaways. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're enjoying it. We're looking for feedback and everything from all the users, and we do listen and everything. So yeah, it's good. We're enjoying it. So yeah.
Good. All right, everyone will make sure you check out Meet Upon Maine. It's if you're listening to this podcast, it's right up your alley anyway. And we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Finger Point, hosted by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Created by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Produced by Amber Omar. Engineered by Kylie Salmon. Social media managed by Kylie Salmon. Content created by Amber Omar and Kylie Salmon. Stay connected with us by following us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube at Two Finger Point Podcast, with the number 2 spelled out TWO. You can also contact us by visiting our website at twofingerpointpodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast to have new episodes automatically downloaded to your device or to get alerts of our new episodes on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate you rating and reviewing the podcast as well. You could be selected to have your review read on the podcast, like this review here from our friend Zoe. My Disney Podcast Fix. Amber and Kylie have put together the perfect podcast about all things Disney. Love to hear their banter, their opinions, their recommendations, and I love following along with their quiz at the end of each episode. You know it's a good podcast when you find yourself chiming in. Listening to them every week has me feeling connected to the parks, even when I'm far away. Thanks, ladies. And thank you, Zoe, for your kind review. We will catch you next Tuesday for our next episode, but until then, have a magical day.